It's a Tuesday. It's 7 in the evening. You're standing in your kitchen and you have nowhere to go. Not nowhere you have to be, nowhere you could choose to be. You run through the options in your head, and they're all the same option, wearing different clothes. You could buy something. You could sit in your car. You could go home, except you're already home. So you pick up your phone, because the phone is the only door left, and you tell yourself you were tired anyway. You were not tired. You were looking for a place that doesn't exist anymore. And tonight, I want to show you who took it, because someone did, on purpose, and they're still doing it. Start with a word you've never heard for a feeling you have every day. The word is third place. A sociologist named Ray Oldenburg coined it in 1989. His idea was simple. You have a first place, home. You have a second place, work. And for all of human history, you had a third. The pub, the diner, the barbershop, the stoop, the square. The place that was neither home nor work, that cost nothing to enter, where you ran into the same faces over and over without ever once making a plan. He said that third place was where community actually lived. Not in your house, not at your job, in the in-between. And he said way back in 1989 that it was vanishing. He had no idea.
Now go back, not 100 years, 300,000. You wake up on the ground and there are people on every side of you, because that's where people slept. You spend the day within a few feet of them. And when the work is done, when the light goes soft and the heat breaks, you don't go anywhere. There is nowhere to go, because you're already in the only place there is. You sit by the fire with the same 20 faces you saw yesterday and the same 20 you'll see tomorrow. Nobody invited anybody. The fire is the invitation. This is not a special occasion. This is just Tuesday, 300,000 years ago. That was the human default. Not loneliness broken by the occasional gathering. Company broken by the occasional moment alone. We had it exactly backwards from how you live now. And that constant accidental nearness was doing something. It was building your friendships for you while you weren't looking. There's a word for the machinery: propinquity. It just means being near the same people again and again without trying. It's the entire reason friendship felt effortless when you were a kid. Same street, same school, same faces every single day. You didn't make those friends. You just kept colliding with the same people until one day they were yours. That's not childhood magic. That's the only way humans have ever made a friend. Repeated, unplanned collision. Which is the whole problem. Because somewhere in the last 70 years, we stopped colliding. We took away every place it used to happen. And nobody, not one person, was ever told that's what we were doing. Here's the number that should stop you. 1 in 5. 1 in 5 Americans now live somewhere with no public gathering place at all. No square, no commons, no cafe you'd actually sit down in. Nothing within reach that was built for people to just be near each other. That's not 1925. That's a survey from 2024. And it goes deeper. In a given week, only about 1 in 5 people set foot in any place that isn't home and isn't work. Sit with that. For 4 out of 5 of us, an entire week now holds 0 hours of the thing humans did every single evening for 300,000 years. You didn't become a hermit. Somebody built the walls. So how do you do it? How do you take the gathering places of a whole country and make them disappear inside one lifetime? It happens in 2 moves, and the first one is so boring you'd have slept right through it. It's a piece of paper, a zoning code. After World War II, America rebuilt itself around the car, and it wrote that decision into law. Houses here,
shops way over there. A hard legal line between them, so the two could never touch. And just like that, the corner store, the neighborhood pub, the cafe at the end of the block, in millions of brand new neighborhoods, they weren't just gone. They were illegal to build. The drive everywhere, walk nowhere life you have wasn't a choice anyone made. It was written into the zoning. They paved the commons, and they called it a subdivision.
But that's just the setup. The second move is the one that should make you angry because it's still happening and it's so cold. The third places that survived the zoning didn't fade away. They were killed, one at a time, by a number on a spreadsheet. Think about what a real third place is. It's a coffee shop where you sit for 3 hours and buy 1 cup. It's a bar where the regulars make a single beer last a whole conversation. Which means, and this is the trap, these places make money slowly. Lingering is the entire point of them, and lingering doesn't pay. So a landlord runs the numbers. On one side, the cafe, $1,500 a month. Tables full of people buying almost nothing, staying for hours. On the other side, a phone store, a bank branch, a chain that turns every table in 20 minutes and pays double the rent. The landlord looks at those two columns, and there's no decision to make, really. There never was.
The cafe doesn't lose because it's bad. It loses because it's kind, because it let you stay, and kindness doesn't show up on the spreadsheet. So the lease ends, and the place where you knew people becomes a place that sells you things. Watch it happen on your own street. The coffee shop closes in the spring. The bar where the bartender knew your order becomes a franchise that knows nothing. The bookshop becomes a bank. And the handful of places still standing get quietly redesigned around the one thing that beats the math: getting you out. The lights get brighter. The chairs get harder. They take out the outlets so you can't charge your phone. They want a line at the door because a body in a seat that isn't buying is, on the spreadsheet, a loss. The places built to keep you became places built to flush you. We took the third place and we optimized it until there was nothing left to sit in.
And once you see it, you can't stop seeing it. That loneliness you've been blaming yourself for, it wasn't a flaw in you. It was an eviction, a slow one, signed by zoning boards and landlords and people reading quarterly numbers in a room you'll never see. And nobody handed you the notice. Because when the places disappeared, you didn't just lose somewhere to go. You backed into the one room still lit: the screen.
And the screen was happy to have you. Social media didn't take your community. It moved into the empty building where your community used to be. It gives you people who already agree with you instead of the neighbor who doesn't. It gives you a feed you control instead of a stranger you can't. It is a third place with the soul scooped out of it. And underneath the scrolling, you know. You know that 600 followers is not one person at a counter who looks up when you walk in and says, "Oh, hey, you again." So here's where it leaves you. A Tuesday night, a home you can't make yourself leave, a town that quietly made leaving pointless, and a loneliness somebody taught you to call your own fault. It was never your fault. You're not antisocial. You're not broken. You're an animal built for the fire and the square and the well, dropped into a place that paved all three and sold you the parking lot. Your great-grandparents could not have been this alone if they had tried. There was always somewhere to go. Someone was always already there. It can come back. It does. Anywhere people refuse to let it die. The cafe that lets you stay too long. The library that's more than books. The bar that learns your name.
These aren't nostalgia. They're infrastructure, as real as a road. And we just stopped building them. You can't rezone your city tonight, but you can pick the counter over the drive-thru.
You can go back to the same place enough times that they know your face. You can be the person someone else is hoping to see. That hum you feel on an empty Tuesday, the one you keep mistaking for boredom, is older than boredom. It's 300,000 years of your blood asking one question. Where did everybody go? Listen to it.